Hello everybody, we are going to construct a perpendicular bisector. So that is what we're going to do in this video. I'm just going to write this, perpendicular bisector. And what this means is we're basically going to take a line and we're going to cut it in half and form right angles. So perpendicular is the lines that come together and form those 90-degree angles. Okay, now we can measure this with a protractor, but we're going to learn how to do this using just a compass and a straight edge. So the first thing I'm going to need is a line. So I'm just going to get a pencil. Geometry is a good idea to use pencils. You know, I'm all about my markers, but when it comes to constructing, drawing, pencils are good. Okay, now I'm just going to draw a 10-centimeter line. So I already know that if I want to cut this in half, I'm going to have 5 on either side. Now, I know that because if I have half of 10, that's 5. But I'm not going to actually measure. I'm going to use the compass. The compass is super cool. Everything is related to circles. So I'm going to pick a side. Oh, one more thing I need to do. Always label your points. I do forget to do that sometimes. So you can help remind me to label my points. Okay, so we have A, B. And we're going to create a perpendicular bisector of line AB. So I'm going to take my compass and I'm going to put it on the first point and I'm going to stretch it out, okay, a little bit further than halfway. So, you can see about where halfway would be. I'm going to make sure that it's further than halfway. And then I'm going to construct a semicircle with my compass. And I want to make sure that this is locked. So your compass will probably have a feature that locks it. If it's loose, it's not going to work because you want to make sure that nothing is changing with your circle. Okay, so there's my arc. Just creating an arc using this point and my compass. Now I'm not going to change the width. I'm going to come over here to point B and I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm putting my compass here on point B and I'm actually going to do the exact same thing. I'm very careful not to change the width of my compass. It's got to stay locked. Okay? So right now I have used 2 circles. Now if I wanted to, and I like circles, I'm a big fan of circles. If I want to put my compass back in the point and I want to continue, you can see that the circle is going to go all the way around. One of my strategies is just to move the paper. You can see I lost it a little bit there at the end. Okay, so here's one circle, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the other. Again, not changing anything, and I'm going to find that point. That's another thing that I like about the compass is the point. It kind of makes an indentation in your paper. Okay, and I'm going to rotate my paper around, not my compass. Now it looks like it's off just a slight bit, but that's okay. Okay. So I made 2 circles to show you that the radius from here to here is equal to the radius from here to here. These are 2 congruent circles. We made 2 circles with our compass. We didn't change anything. So if I just kind of look at this line and I go from here to here and I ignore this circle from here to here, that's a radius. And that radius is the exact same as this radius. And where they intersect, where these 2 circles cross over, is our bisector. That is exactly where the line is halfway. So if I just put a little point here and I put a point here and I connect them, I'm going to use a pen for this and I'm going to be very careful just to make sure it's straight. I'm not going to go all the way through. I'm just going to make perpendicular lines. I could continue and I'm going to do that just like kind of like dot it to show you that it goes all the way through. Okay, now if I did this correctly, these should be right angles, and I should have 5 on either side. Now, I'm kind of ignoring the fact that I have this circle here. You don't need to go through and erase it. I'm going to show you as we get better at doing this the shortcuts that you can take, but for now, let's just leave our circles there. And you know what? Let's say point C. Let's put a point here. Now we can say point C, and we can show this as a right angle. And I'm going to measure from A to C. And look at that. It's 5 centimeters. And I can measure from C to B, and it's 5 centimeters. So I cut this line in half without doing any measuring, which is super cool. So I can say that line segment AB is congruent to line segment, I can say line segment AC, fix that, is congruent to line segment CB. They're both the same measurement. And then if I want to make this D, I can say angle measure ACD is 90 degrees. Okay, so let's prove it. I'm going to get my protractor out. And I'm just going to pop it over here. And look at this, guys. Check it out. I got to extend my line a little because it's not long enough, but you can see 90 degrees. Okay, so I'm using my protractor just to prove that I made a 90-degree line. So angle ACD is 90 degrees, and angle BCD is 90 degrees. And we know this because we used 2 congruent circles from the same center point. So I used center point A, that's the center of this circle. I used the center point B, that's the center of this circle. And the radius from the edge of each circle is congruent, is the same. Pretty cool stuff, right?